Yo guys, Kaspa's looking good right now. All right, we got interest rate cuts at 25 basis points. Here we are, Bitcoin, Kaspa. Look at this chart, man. Look at it. The bottom is in. Bottom is absolutely in. All right, there's a little bit of a dump on the micro time frame for Bitcoin. I mean, it's nothing. People were reacting to basically Fed chair, Powell saying that December, it's very uncertain what's going to happen. If December, they're going to have more rate cuts. That's basically what the little bit of micro FUD's about. That is just not sure about what's December going to be about. I guess the market believes that December and the months forward go into quantitative easing, which is going to be very bullish for markets. We'll see if that happens, but I think it's just inevitable to reach that point because Feds are just basically trapped in a corner. There's nothing else they can really do besides inject liquidity because their global reserves are reaching a critical point, a breaking point essentially. Once the money supply, basically bank reserves are down to 9.71% of GDP. Fed's own safety net is 10 to 11%. That's going to require them to just basically inject a lot of money for these bank reserves. But essentially the Feds, the money printing, it's not a sustainable system. That is why Bitcoin is coming in strong. This trend here is holding up very well. Yeah, eventually it'll probably drop down to this white, but it could happen after a few years of consolidation up here or up here. Who knows exactly when. This is essentially that very much bear market low. Can't get a better floor than this, honestly. So we're looking at literally everything, and it's just phenomenal. Take a look at this chart here. Gold with respect to total 2. Again, I love it. I love this chart. It's bouncing beautifully. I've covered this in past videos. You can't get something looking better. Like people thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be the end of the bull market very soon. Like, man, I don't know what you're saying. It's literally everything's holding up very, very well. Even Solana, like its dominance is pretty much fair priced right now. Take a look at some more charts here. Others looking phenomenal, ready to break out and upward from this descending wedge. Very bullish pattern. And here we go looking at the crypto market cap, excluding the top 10. Again, low, macro low. Buy it up, my fam. Buy it up. MACD is turning bullish. I mean, turning from a bearish to bullish. That's where you want to buy. Bearish to bullish. This bottom here, like this is where you want to maximize your exposure to altcoins. Basically, just maximize your exposure to Kaspa. It's the leading one. Look at the S&P 500 reaching this crazy all-time high. Again, I mean, during some sort of crisis or something like that, it could drop down here. This is the 2,000-day moving average. This is the 1,000-day moving average. So, I mean, when it hits that type of crisis, that FOMO sell-off event, it could, of course, drop back down. But right now, we're in a crisis of the dollar, fiat. The money is just flooding to other assets, to gold, for example. And gold, you see it, this all-time high here, and this is going to be another rotation of liquidity. Kaspa looking phenomenal. Every single dip is a buying opportunity. This dip got eaten up fast. It's doing phenomenal with respect to the rest of the market. The rest of the market was down over here, yet Kaspa was up. So it's good to see on the micro time frame. We look at the macro, and again, it's looking phenomenal. This is exactly what I was calling out my past video or 2 videos ago, forming a valley over here, bottomed. And yeah, you can't get a more bullish formation than this. This is on the weekly time frame. We're going to absolutely get back into this downtrend here. So we might be able to actually break it, moving up with these indicators coming up from the macro bottom, macro lows. So I'm going to go into a lot more videos covering like what makes Kaspa the leading one, because we really need to like especially target these other coins, like for example, Zcash, Bitcoin Cash. These things just, they're hyped up. Hyped up for what? Once Kaspa gets the exposure and the recognition it deserves, it's going to be too late. It can be way too late. You need to be sitting on your hands, being patient, because once the world and especially the crypto world at the start realize what Kaspa is, like there's no going back. It's done for. And the price is going to be $1, $2, $5, $10. Everything's going to be built on Kaspa. Everything's going to be using the most optimized L1. That's just how it works. You want to save money. You want to have fast transactions, the fastest, the cheapest. You're going to be using Kaspa. Endgame crypto. All right, again, Kaspa looking beautiful. Maximize your exposure to Kaspa with Nacho, the leading meme coin on the block. DAG, the first ever token launched on Kaspa. It's first launched as a KRC20 inscription, and now it's also tradable on Kaspa XL2, and it will be tradable on Egra. It will be tradable on, eventually when VProgs get released. It's going to be everywhere. This is your leverage. This is your derivative of the native coin. That's what every leading meme coin does on every blockchain. It's essentially the leverage play. It is the gem for traders because it's the leverage, smaller market cap, so it can pump more when the price goes up. It drops more when the price goes down. Traders love it. You buy this essentially is investing in that leverage play because long term, it's going to continue to rise, especially right now when it has such a small percent of the Kaspa's market cap. That's the move. Buy at this low, buy at this macro floor, while Kaspa is also at its macro floor, and that's going to be the play. Honestly, this is the play on Kaspa. So I did a video on how to buy for the best price in the most decentralized way. It just depends because sometimes there's some really good orders, really good like large orders on the marketplaces. I could go in another video about it. I've done videos in the past about it. But if you want the best price for orders that are like normal size orders, you do it on the DEX. Sometimes you could find some great massive orders, like 100 million Nacho on the marketplace. It's essentially like an OTC marketplace, but it's decentralized. So it's like really good on Kaspa.com. Check out my video if you want how to buy it on the DEX. It gives you the best bang for your buck. Couldn't get a better opportunity than in the price right now. Literally you can't. So it's moving up pretty well with Kaspa on this micro time frame. It's hard to see. It's hard to see exactly, but it's rising from its bottom. I mean, slowly but surely, just like Kaspa. That's what we like to see. So Kaspa's already at 5.9. It dropped down to literally like 5.75 cents, and now it's already back up. Kind of wild. I don't suggest to leverage at all, but if you are a leverage trader, I mean, you're probably taking advantage of the opportunity that's presented. If you're able to buy down here, what's the point of leverage? Like literally, you're gonna get liquidated. That's why I suggest buying Nacho as your leverage. Why you have to risk anything else? Liquidation, funding fees. Like, what's the point? If you're going to hold for long term, you don't hold leverage long term. You don't do that because you're going to get hit with massive fees every single day, every single week from the funding fees for holding that position on leverage. That's what Nacho is there for. Yeah, leverage traders, I'm sure there's some that took advantage of the super macro lows. And then they probably sold that and made profit and then bought more Kaspa spot price or bought more Nacho spot price. That's the move. Yeah, I mean, Kaspa's getting some hype, honestly. It's getting crazy hype. If you haven't seen, check it out. Blockchain 100 from Binance. This is huge. You need to vote for both Jonathan and Michael Sutton. Look up their names. Just look up Michael Sutton. You'll see it. Michael Sutton. There he is. Okay. You have to vote. All right. You can't let Michael get beat by this guy who is literally spreading false accusations saying, oh, it's me versus a billionaire. Honestly, he probably thinks Michael Sutton is Michael Saylor, but still, I mean, he has a large following and his following isn't crypto people, apparently. It's just basically it's a vote for crypto humble industry leading developer Michael Sutton versus this guy who's begging for votes, who has a lot of like the community, I guess in India, that are just voting for him because he's Indian. Man, vote for trustless, global, decentralized, industry-leading crypto developer, the most humble guy. These two guys are super, extremely humble, Michael Sutton and Jonathan. Make sure you vote for them daily. They're in two different categories, meaning you can vote for them both on the same day. We have until the 30th, so this could be your last vote. Get in to vote now and vote again tomorrow on the 30th before the timeline, before it closes, because guess what? The winner of this, look who's on stage when we win. When Jonathan Sampolinsky takes the award, it's going to be on stage. And look at this lineup of speakers on stage at the same exact date in Dubai that the winner's going to be presented the award for the Blockchain 100. Michael Saylor might actually shake the hand of Michael Sutton. This guy, CEO of Ripple. We got co-founder, CEO of Real Vision. I don't know, probably big investor. And then CZ. These people are going to be in the same exact room, maybe even shake hands with Jonathan Sampolinsky and Michael Sutton when they win the Blockchain 100. That's why we need to make them win. We need to vote every single day. You need to have a Binance account. You need a KYC and vote. Okay, get your family members to vote. Everyone needs to vote because, I mean, you can't vote in the US. So if you can vote, you really should vote. We even had Trav. He was in, community builder, but he's not getting as much votes and like there's some confusion. This is his nomination, but he doesn't have like a Square Binance account. So someone else made a Binance account trying to like impersonate him, but his nomination is still valid. It's still him. But whatever. So it doesn't look like he's going to win this. So let's focus our attention on what we can win. Michael Sutton, Jonathan Sampolinski, both of them. And honestly, we have to prioritize Sutton here because like there's no reason why he should have less votes than Jonathan. Because you could vote for both of them every single day. Why does Jonathan have 7,000 and Michael only 4,000? They should both have the same amount because you could vote for both of them. Man, it's just too bad we didn't like really iterate that at the start. But whatever. We do what we can now. We're gonna win and we're gonna go on the stage with these folks up here. It's gonna be crazy. Binance will not be able to ignore Kaspa at that point. Not just Binance, but literally Michael Saylor, CEO Ripple, and all the people there. This is a big event. Do not take this lightly. Speaking of big, Tangem has a crazy promo that only includes Kaspa as an altcoin, okay? Like as the coin. It's literally, okay, ramen, summer, pizza. Pizzas were kind of referring to Bitcoin, that pizza day. HODL, Kaspa. HODL, Kaspa. HODL, Kaspa. Tangem loves Kaspa. Who's investing in Tangem? Visa. Okay, you buy one with 10% off, promo code SCAPE, you get another 50% off. It lasts until November 7th. All right, this is a perfect time to get a Tangem because you're not just going to buy one Tangem, you're going to have another one as a backup. Perfect. All right, not just a backup, but now you're going to have two different wallets. A great way to protect, you have one Tangem here, one Tangem there, in different vaults or whatever you want, and it's great. So now you're going to get one half off, basically 60% off on a Tangem. Take advantage of this opportunity and take the hint because Tangem loves Kaspa. You literally can't get more obvious than this. They did a whole tweet as well. Check it out. It's crazy. This is what it looks like. The Kaspa limited edition. Still 1,300 wallets left, but then the number's going down. And once it runs out of supply, you're never going to be able to get this again unless you find it on some eBay or something like that. Someone has an unopened box, I don't know. But basically, you're never going to be able to get it again. And if you're not yet running a node, oh my gosh, what are you doing? This node map is getting spotted up like a Christmas tree with ornaments. It hasn't been updated for the past day or two. So keep in mind that if your node isn't on the map yet, it doesn't mean that it's not online. Here I am running another node. So I have 3 nodes on Flux and I have this node right here. This is on my home PC. This is where I'm recording. I have this one running. It's at 52% synced, but guess what? The peers are already getting connected. We can check the overview. You can check the price. It's kind of cool. See it in terms of Bitcoin, see it in terms of USD. This is on Kaspa NG. I'm going to do a whole video explaining super easily how to run a node. This isn't even paying for anything. If you have a home PC that's like, it has specs that are not that bad, I mean, what? It's nothing crazy. I mean, this one, I do have good RAM on this. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is like the recommended like for a high-end node on Kaspa. You only need 16 gigabytes though. 16 gigabyte RAM. 8 cores. This computer's 8 cores. You can find the cores by just looking up like whatever processor you have. You have like i5 or i7. Just look that up in Google and they'll tell you how many cores you have. Minimum's like 8 cores. This one's 8 cores, and an SSD is preferable. If you have a hard drive, it should still work fine. So I'm running this on the SSD, 500 gigabytes SSD free space, so it's more than enough. You don't need nearly as much as that. I think you need at least like 256 gigabytes free space. I mean, the more the merrier. So I have that on an external hard drive or external SSD drive. And here we go with inbound, outbound peers. It doesn't need to have inbound peers to be connected, just FYI. It shows no inbound peers. It's still fine. It's going to be about like 8 outbound peers. Inbound, I mean, I had 0. I saw another time I had like 15 inbound peers. Pretty cool. Again, it's not yet on the map. The map isn't updated yet. I think on the CAS FYI, it's also not even there right now. So maybe they're doing some sort of upgrade. I don't know. But definitely run a node. I'm going to do a video. It's going to be my next video. So keep an eye out. It's super easy, but it does take a while to sync. But even while it syncs, you could still be public. You'll still have a public node while it's syncing. So that's honestly really cool. Peace out.